Hey, I'm here today with my good friend Joe Hahn, former Navy SEAL, or do they say former?
Yeah.
Or is it SEAL Forever? Forever SEAL?
I think it's the Marines.
Is that the Marines?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Or Rangers.
I don't know. He doesn't have it on his knuckles or anything, so I don't know. I'm just Tech P. Anyway, today we're going to be running the Mozambique drill. Now, to make sure that there's no derogatory comments later on, it is now called the failure drill. But it originated in Mozambique in that war. And what happened in that war was a Rhodesian mercenary came around the corner and he had a Browning high power, something similar to what we have today. And at 10 feet, he put 2 rounds in the chest and then assessed the situation and then shot again, but it went right into his throat and severed the spinal cord. A little sick, but I'm sure you had to be there to get the full effect. Now, that story somehow got back to Colonel Jeff Cooper, and he turned it into the failure drill, and it's what we have today. And Joe, what do you think about this drill? You probably use it a lot.
Yeah, it's a solid drill, just not, depending on if that stops the threat, can help defeat stuff like hidden body armor, heavy clothing and stuff like that. It's a very good drill to practice because it's one of those tools in the toolbox that would be utilized in various situations.
Awesome. So there you have it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to run this drill a couple times just to show you what the drill consists of and some of the variables that we could apply the drill in this.
About 1.9. So the average coming out of the holster is about 1.5. So I got 1.9 out of the holster. So my first shot, 0.48 in transition, 0.53 to the head. Again. Oh yeah.
Hey, you're good. You're running. Did it jam up already? You got any oil?
All right, so I ran the paper. I ran the drill a few times on paper. I brought out one of my buddy's target systems, Jared Ogden, another former Navy SEAL, who designed these reactive target systems. Each of these little packets are filled with a die. So basically, when you're going down with the failure drill, you're basically hitting what we call triggers, switches, and timers. So things like the lungs, different parts of the heart are considered timers. When you hit that, a timer starts counting down on when that threat's down. And then you have your switches, which is like your brain, center mass of the heart, stuff that's going to immediately stop the threat. So one of the basis around a failure drill is, hey, you hit a couple of those timers, but you need that threat stopped now. So you move it on to a switch, which is the brain. Speed it up a little bit. Dial it down just a tad. One of those went out the side. Stand by. So with the Browning high-powered, obviously one of the big things about firing this thing is they designed it after the 1911. So utilizing that safety is a big key in when you're using this thing. So if you're a 1911 shooter, shooting a platform like this would be pretty easy. But on the other hand, guys like myself that have done a lot of training with striker fired pistols, or I mean, I used the SIG 226 a lot, which was a double action, single action. That first shot always required a whole lot more pressure, and before the follow-up ones. But manipulating the safety is pretty important. You know, stock sights and the condition of this gun, you definitely having to catch those things and line those things up are key things. All right, for this Browning, we have a leather holster. It's pretty fairly new. It's always good to have when you get a holster to kind of have that thing oiled up and get it pretty broken in, because you want that thing to slide pretty easy in and out, especially ones with the button ones right here. That's the retention deal. They have, you know, different plastic ones and Kydex ones and Prussian molded ones that you could adjust the angle. Personally, I wouldn't tilt my firearm that far forward, but this is the way this holster came with stock. But if you're going to use a holster like this, definitely have this broken in real well. The button snap obviously oiled and well broken in as well, because breaking that leather and getting that firearm out is, you know, everyone knows in a gunfight, you know, tenths of a second can mean a difference in between life and death. So having that thing, breaking that thumb, getting that good hold. So I always push down so I can get a good grip on my gun, bring it up, and when I'm doing that, I'm having my thumb on that safety, so when I start punching out, my safety comes off. Because you can get stuck on that safety and rounds aren't going to leave the chamber unless that safety's off. But that's some of the good things and bad things about these old Brownings. You just got to make sure you know your safeties. It's a single action despite the hammer. And, yeah.
Hey everybody, I'd like to say thanks to Johan, for showing us some of those failure drills and the Mozambique and a little bit of the history behind it. And you know, we just had a lot of fun today, bringing out some cool toys, shooting the Browning high power. How'd that feel?
Yeah, it was different. You know, like I said before, I'm not used to shooting some of the 1911 platforms. I have shot a decent amount of rounds through them, but manipulating that safety is a big deal, and something that I guarantee would be better over time once I practice more and more.
Yeah, it works great. Great thing to have in your toolkit as far as a drill goes. And then a special shout out to this cool ass target. Look at this thing from Triumph Systems. And you're gonna see this, obviously you already saw this in the video, but this was really cool. A lot of instant gratification just coming right back at you. I could use a little bit more splatter, so what's your friend's name?
So Jared Ogden's former Navy SEAL that designed this target. He also made a reactive target system that's portable, that comes out and basically in a box, and you can travel to different places and ranges, that has the actual reactive turning systems on it. That includes target systems like these and just plain cardboard targets. But yeah, these ink packs are instant gratification, and definitely from near and far, even low light situations, you can see where your hits are at. And it's made for crowns for you Marines.
Delicious. Joe?
Pleasure. Remember, keep training.
No, don't be shy.
Oh, you want me to introduce myself?
No, you don't have to introduce yourself.
Okay. Should I take off my sunglasses?
You can if you want to. Hold on, I'll put mine on.
How's that?
Okay. All right, hey everybody. Again, I was too anxious to go fast. Oh, this fucking pistol.
I want to go fast. Stand by. I'd probably get one with ivory grips, and maybe detail it in some bedazzlement.